All right. Hey, team. Welcome to our weekly Monday night huddle. Um, Excited for those of you who are able to hop on. Hang on, I'm reading Amanda's thing. It's a good thing we started because my mom was about to break out my kindergarten. You can still do that, Jill. Let me know when you've got the kindergarten picture ready. I bet that's so cute. Oh, she's got it like ready. She's like, oh my goodness, so funny. Oh, man, those school year pictures were not cute when I was little because I've had curly hair all my life. And oh, wait, a little bit closer. It's like glary. Ooh, so cute, Amanda. Look at you, girl. So cute. So I've always had curly hair, and my mom has curly hair, so she should know better. But she used to brush through my curls, so all of my pictures was just like mushroom head. I'm like, thanks. That looks great, Mom. Thanks. DJ Tanner things, Kayla says. It's so funny. Okay, so just a couple quick announcements before we hop into tonight's topic. We are having a VIP event tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard, and we're joining forces with a couple other Emeralds to do this together. And so what is a VIP event? We're going to do it via Google Hangout or whatever it's called. Is that what's called, Google Hangout? So it's just going to be a link that they click. It's not a Zoom format. They don't have to download an app. So it's really simple. You're going to send them the actual link, and then they click it when the time is ready for it to begin. And then it's a 30-minute, we talk about the opportunity, why this opportunity is what it is. We're going to talk about the core issues of what our products do. We're not going to go super in-depth detail with the products, but what they're supposed to do. And then just share some testimonies. And so it's 30 minutes max. Who should you invite? You want to be inviting the people that you know would rock this business, whether they are, super personable, they have a great network, they love to help people, maybe they want to make extra income. These are people that you want to be inviting. And then at the end of it, we're going to have a code word that they will get back to you with the code word, and that will be their entry for a free Echo Dot. So I posted it on the team page earlier. There's an actual Facebook event with the link in it. So make sure you're added to that Facebook event. And if you're not and you want to be added to it, just comment in the chat, and I'll make sure at the end of this that I get everyone added that wants to invite some people. These are great events for getting the word out for what this opportunity can be for people, especially this time of year, you guys. Okay, what else? If you guys don't know what Sunday night hustles are, I encourage you to hop on a Sunday night hustle. So it's every Sunday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's 1 hour to work your business. But sometimes we have a little like special focus, and last night was all about convenience orders and the importance of convenience orders and verbiage for convenience orders and how to reach out to your team about convenience orders. So these are huge, you guys, to get on and just learn some things that'll help grow your business, but then to spend time reaching out to people that will grow your business. Yes, Carrie, last night was so good. Convenience orders are a must, and we could take 30 hours and just talk about it tonight. I forgot to post the recording. We did record last night because it was such great information, and I will post that on our team page probably tonight or maybe in the morning. What else? Okay, you guys, this is back to school season. So a lot of times summer can kind of seem just like a weird time in network marketing in general, but also in life, I guess, because everyone's doing their own thing, and getting vacation days and whatever. But we are now in the back to school season, and most people thrive in that kind of season because we need order, we need structure, we need to be told when we need to be somewhere. And so now is the time to really, if you have kind of stepped back from your business a little bit, now is the time to kick it into gear, because once kiddos are back into school, moms are going to be like, okay, now I have some extra time. Maybe I can have a little side gig, or okay, my kids are back in school. Now I realize how unhealthy I actually feel. Let me reach out to so-and-so about Plexus. So now is the time to really step up your game if you haven't been working your business like you should be. Okay, so You guys, tonight is titled, Where is Time Going? Where is time going? And does anyone else just feel like time, it just never slows down? I feel like I say this every huddle, but it's really crazy how much we have on our plates that time just is always going at the speed of light, basically. I feel like if I blink, it'll be Christmas, and I am not ready for that. So time is flying. And in this business, you guys, this business takes time. This business takes time. But honestly, it shouldn't take up your entire life. This business is work for sure, but this isn't the kind of business that you have to put in 40 hours to see any kind of payoff or benefit. And thank the Lord, because if that was the case, I would be struggling in this business big time. That's the beauty of this opportunity. You design your life. You get to design your work hours. If you're a morning person, who's a morning person on here? Do we have any morning people? A couple. Okay, cool. So if you're a morning person and that's when you're most creative, or that's when you have time to yourself, make those your business hours a couple days a week. Who's our night owls? Do we have any night owls on here? Carrie and Penny. Okay, awesome. So if you're a night owl and that's when you are at your best, and the house is quiet, you can get some messages out, utilize those as your work hours. I feel like my brain shuts off at 9 p.m. Like nothing creative happens after 9 p.m. So it would not be wise for me to make my business hours, even though my kids are asleep, my brain is asleep as well once they're down for the count. So you get to design your life, your work hours. You even get to design your team, you guys. You know that whole saying, your vibe attracts your tribe? Okay, so you essentially, who you are is attracting other people that have similar values, similar goals, similar mindsets, similar socioeconomic status, Obviously, there's outliers to that, but you essentially get to design your team. You have a say in who you want to attract onto your team. You get to design your freedom and what that looks like for you. So the problem is, so many of us fill our work hours with so much fluff. We feel like we're working. We feel like we can never catch a break, like we're always on our phones, but we're scrolling Facebook, or, we're checking our email, or, oh my gosh, the Gap is having a sale. Let me go check out what's on sale real quick. I was going to send a message to somebody, but the Gap's having a sale, so let me go check that real quick. You see what I'm saying? Like, we jump on the internet, we jump on Facebook, we jump on social media, and it's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy to just, something that should have taken you 20 minutes now turned into 2 hours, and you still didn't get it accomplished. Can anyone testify, or is that just me? Like, I can have a whole list of things in front of me, and then 2 hours later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to cross one thing off at least, please. And so, and a lot of times we feel like we're working our businesses, but maybe we're just watching a training video, and those things are good. But if you are always just doing those things and not the income producing activities that we know we need to be doing, then all those things are kind of all for naught, and we're not going to be as wildly successful or productive as we want to be in this. So what if, you guys, what if we actually worked less hours, right? Had more success, and therefore more time freedom and financial freedom to enjoy it? Would that be okay with you guys if you got to work less but actually have more success? Like, that would be pretty awesome, right? So here's how you get to do that. Hang on a second. So yeah, here's how you get to do that. In your business hours. So who has business hours? Do you guys kind of know when you work your business, or do you just kind of pick up your phone from time to time? Does anyone have business hours? Raise your hand if you do. And I know we're kind of in summer season, so all of us are kind of not at all. But ideally, once school's in session, everything, do you guys kind of want business hours, or do you kind of just go with the flow at all times? Okay. So I'm I have to be structured, or else my to-do list is just all over the place. So I kind of have to know when I can get things done. So when you set your business hours, you have to jam pack your business hours with reaching out, following up, growing your network. Those are the things we know are income producing. So you guys, I am reading this book. I know several of you guys have it. Get Over Your Dang Self. I edit it whenever I say it. You guys, literally, I was one chapter into this and I was like, whoa, light bulbs going off. It's been blowing my mind and it is so good, but it's been so eye-opening for me. So Get Over Your Dang Self by Romy Neustadt. And she's like a 7-figure earner with Rodan and Fields. So girlfriend knows what she's doing, like making 7 figures a year. She's making over 100,000 a month. You guys, she's making over, like, you guys think about that. This is the industry we are in. You could be making $100,000 a month. It's like what? Like, what? I don't even understand that. We have people in Plexus who are doing that every single month. Residual income, you guys. Okay, so she talks about your business hours. So this was in chapter 1, and I'm already like golden nuggets. She talks about your business hours and what percentage you should be doing certain activities. So we all know you need to focus on your IPA and then do all the other things, right? But when she laid it out based on percentages, then it really shows you how much time you're probably wasting on things that aren't going to grow your business. This, and I'm not saying this to like throw it at you guys, this was convicting to me. I was like, oh, like, I feel like I need so many hours to get my business done. But then when I was looking at what she was laying it out, I was like, okay, I can't even imagine having that much time to do income producing activities. So, okay, get this. 80% of your business, 80%, write that down, 80, 80%, that's a huge percentage, right? 80% of your business should be focused on income producing activities. We hear that all the time, income producing activities. But did you guys realize 80% of our businesses should be that? Doesn't that sound like a huge percentage? I kind of always think of it like, okay, I'll do my business stuff first and then I'll do team stuff. Like I've kind of always looked at like, do my stuff first and then the rest of my time can be that. Like I think if I just spend 30 minutes doing my income producing activities, then the other 3 hours I work my business that day can be checking statuses, notifications, liking, you know what I mean? And that's not what she's saying. She's saying 80% of the time you're working needs to be income producing activities. So what does that look like? She says in here, you know, the same things we all know in network marketing and in Plexus, reaching out, you know, growing relationships, meeting new people, growing your network, following up with people, and then obviously posting on social media some. And she also includes training your new people. So anyone who has been 30 days or less with you. So she does include that in your income producing activities, training people that are 30 days or less into this. So that is 80% of your time needs to be income producing activities and training newbies. 10% of your time, 10% should be 3-way calls or 3-way messages for your team. So, you know, maybe you have a couple of team members. This is 10% of your time you should be allowing yourself to do 3-way messages with them and a prospect. Or, you know, they just signed a new ambassador. 10% of your business hours should be jumping on a 3-way call with them and welcoming them to the team and getting them started right. And, you know, really focusing on those things. But that's only 10% of your time, you guys, okay? And then the other 10% is it's training. Whether you are training people, training your team, these are non-newbies. So these aren't the new people that you've been training in the 80%. This is training like HUDDLE, for example. You know, maybe you're getting training, you're watching videos. Like HUDDLE would count for that 10% time, okay? Or maybe doing coaching calls. Maybe you do coaching calls with your sponsor, or you do it with your team, or posting on your team page or interacting on the team pages. That is 10% of your overall business hours should be allotted for those. Does anyone feel like their percentages are off in how you're working your business? Okay, and I am the first to admit, you guys, I love our team so much, and I think I've told you guys this before. If I could just wake up and like do team stuff all day, I would, because this is my favorite thing. But unfortunately, that's not income producing activity for me, you know? And so I can easily get caught in that trap of, okay, let me post on a team page. Let me make sure, blah, 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 blah. But if that's more than my 10%, then I'm not doing it right. I'm not going to be making that $100,000 a month like she is, right? Okay. So this was truly a wake up call for me. And I was talking to Christy about it yesterday. I saw Christy cook yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is blowing my mind. Because when she put percentages to it, we always hear do your income producing activities. But when she laid it out, I was like, holy smokes. Okay. So, because so often I feel like I don't have enough time to work my business. I'm always telling Obi, I need more time to work my business. I need more time to work my business. But that's simply because I'm focusing on too much of the extras and not the actual meat and potatoes, okay? So I kind of broke down some different scenarios for you guys based on how many hours a week you want to work your business. All of us are in different seasons and we all have different amounts of time we want to work our businesses. So say you can work 5 hours a week. Does anyone like think 5 hours a week is a good amount of time to kind of put into your Plexus business for where you're at? Okay. So say you work 5 hours a week, and that's Monday through Friday. You take the weekends off. So that's obviously an hour a day you're working your business, whether it's all at one chunk or separated. So you guys, that would be, in the grand scheme of the 80%, that would be 4 hours of the whole week. 4 of your 5 hours would be spent on income producing activity. 4 hours of reaching out, growing your network, following up, you know, building those relationships would be income producing activities for 4 hours. 30 minutes that week. So just for the week, 30 minutes would be for three-way calls. So maybe you have a couple team members and they got a new ambassador. You would have a 30-minute window. And actually, I would not have your welcome call go that long. That's way too long. I would do like maybe 2 welcome calls or a prospecting call, and do those for 15 minutes each. Do 2 of them on your lunch break, you know? And then 30 minutes of that 5-hour chunk for the week would be for watching a training video, getting on a coaching call with your sponsor, doing a coaching call with a team member, those kinds of things. So 4 hours of income producing activities. Isn't that like, how many messages could you send in 4 hours if you did like 4 hours throughout the week of sending messages? A lot, right? A lot. Okay, so say you work 10 hours a week. Does anyone feel like 10 hours a week fits your goals and everything? Okay, so 10 hours a week, Monday through Friday, obviously that's 2 hours a day. So if you were working your business 10 hours a week, 80% of that time would equal 8 hours. So if you had 8 hours in a week that you designated for reaching out, following up, sending samples, growing your network, do you think you could talk to quite a few people that would get your business moving and shaking? Yeah, you could probably reach out to a ton of people if you had 8 hours of devoted time to doing that. That time that you weren't checking your notifications, and you know, this is time that you turn off notifications. You have your list of people and you just go to town, reaching out, following up, grow that network. And then of those 10 hours for the week, you would have 1 hour set aside for three-way calls, prospecting calls, new ambassador calls, and then 1 hour would be for coaching, training, those kinds of things. Training videos, all of that jazz. So, and say you work your business about 15 hours a week. So that's kind of where I am. Like I said, I would love to work my business more, but just this season of life with littles at home, 15 hours is actually pretty. If I focused on getting my work done, 15 hours would be plenty. You guys, if you were doing 15 hours a week, which would be about 3 hours a day, whether it's broken up or not, 80% of that, 12 hours would be income producing activity. 12 hours of reaching out to people, following up, growing your network. Do you guys think 12 hours is enough? I feel like when I did the percentages, it was like 12 hours. I don't even think I could do 12 hours worth. Like that's a ton. That's a ton of income producing activity. So this book was showing me I am clearly lopsided on what I'm doing. If 12 hours to me sounds like a ton, then I obviously haven't been putting close to 12 hours into my income producing activities. And so of those 15 hours that week, 1.5 hours would be for three-way calls or prospecting calls or messages. And then 1.5 hours would be for training or coaching purposes. So with that much IPA focus, we'd all be on the fast track, you guys, straight to the top, right? Don't you guys think if you had that much IPA, you would be moving and grooving all the way to the top? So because technically when I sit down with a power hour and I have my list ready, I can reach out to about 20 people, about 5 people every 15 minutes. So if you can reach out to 20 people in 1 hour and you're working your business 5 hours a week and 80% of that time is for IPA, so you have 4 power hours and you're reaching out to 20 people each power hour, that's 80 people. This is based on 5 hours a week working your business. If you're working your business 5 hours a week based on these statistics, you should be reaching out to 80 people a week. Is anyone reaching out to 80 people a week? If you are, I am like excited for you because you are about to like be reaping a harvest. But if you're not, this is just so eye-opening to me that, you know, that's why I'm not recruiting as many people as I should be, right? I know this opportunity works. I know these products work. It's a matter of reaching out to enough people. And if you're reaching out to 80 people a week, if you're, you know, the lowest that you would probably be getting interest is probably 10%. Like 10% is very, that's a lower end average of how many people would show an interest. So if you're reaching out to 80 people, you would have, what is that? 8 people a week wanting to know more about Plexus. That's 32 people a month wanting more information about Plexus. And if your closing rate's like 50%, you would have 16 new customers or ambassadors on your team. You guys, that is like leaderboard stats. And that's 5 hours a week and you did 4 hours of income producing activity. Is this blowing your mind of how successful you could be if you just had those kind of percentages of focus? This doesn't have to be so crazy time consuming, you guys. So you guys, we just need to work smart with the time we have. This opportunity is meant to give us time and financial freedom. But if we aren't being disciplined, I think that's the key word for me. If we're not being disciplined with our IPA, our income producing activity time, then it will feel like we are working all day long because you are tied to your phone all day. But the reality is you're probably not getting where you want to be because it's not just IPA time. It's notification time. It's check your messages time. And I'm guilty of it, you guys. So I watched several videos over the weekend. That's what I do during my bath time. Like I just watch videos and whatever. And there's just a common theme, you guys, with all the top earners. It's like you're looking for that one nugget. You're like, okay, but what's the secret, right? 3.5 years in, and I'm like, what's the secret? Income producing activities. There's no way around it. I was watching stuff by Amy Paul, Brooke Hemingway, Emily Gibson, Bridget Ryan, all these people that are always on the top of the leaderboard. And what are they saying? They're reaching out to people like crazy. They're building relationships. They're growing their network. They're following up. And then you know what they're doing? They're turning off their phone, putting it away, and hanging out with their families. They're turning off their phone. They're going and having fun on vacations. They're turning off their phone, and they're not checking their notifications all the time. But if you will just figure out what your business hours are, when you're working your business, do those percentages, make sure 80% of it is actually income producing activities. Then the rest of the time, you guys, put your phone away. Don't feel like you have to have it on you. You know, that doesn't mean you're working just because your phone is right next to you. You know, we are not heart surgeons. We can put our phones away and enjoy that time freedom that this is supposed to give us. But if we are always just like hamster wheels because we're not doing the most important things, we are not going to make the most of this opportunity. and 3 years will go by and you'll be like, man, like what's the secret? And this truly is the secret, you guys, just working your business, being disciplined, and then enjoying that time freedom that should come with this opportunity. Because honestly, if you just had 4 hours of true IPA a week, I really, really think that this could transform all of our businesses, not just yours, but mine as well. So I'm going to end the recording and check